Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, October 9th. It's 10:32 a.m. Thanks for joining, everybody. A lot of crazy news going on right now. A lot of happening all across the globe. Looks like some geopolitical tensions are ratcheting up. What's it going to mean for oil, energy, Bitcoin? Also, U.S. debt spiraling. So we've got some Cardano, SBF stuff. Charles Hoskinson speaking out about SBF. What does he have to say? Is he championing him? Spoiler, probably not. Also, we got Tim on the charts today, correct?
Yeah, doing those charts again.
And we're back to having Drew. Drew, how are you doing back there?
Just absolutely fantastic, DC. Thanks for asking there.
All right, you got the flannel on. You're looking good. Did you chop any wood this weekend?
I did. My son stole my shovel that had an axe end on it, though, and he did most of the work himself. A lot of digging, a lot of building, having fun.
Now that child is under the age of 7, I think, right?
5 years old.
Okay, young start. Is he
Start him young. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, man, you got to get him young. Child labor camps. I mean,
He
we're
mowed the
working
yard
in
afterwards,
America.
too.
At that age.
I always tell him to do dangerous things carefully. That's the best I can do for him. So
yeah, that's the best way to learn. All right, folks, make sure you hit that like button. Let's just get right into the show, folks. There's a lot to cover. So we're going to go ahead and start with the crypto prices. Where are things heading? It looks like Bitcoin is down slightly. I just hit refresh 20 seconds ago. Let me hit it one more time. 27,521. All right, 27,521 still. All right, so Bitcoin is down 1.5%. Ethereum is down 2.2%. The markets are not looking too great today, folks. XRP is down almost 4%. We have Solana down over 4%. Cardano down 2% here. Polygon down 4.5%. Not showing much sign of strength here. Bitcoin Cash down 5%. Really, though, what is surprising to me, look at the weekly here. Look at the 7-day. Are you seeing anything in the green? Nothing is really looking positive. The markets are on some downward pressure right now, for sure. All right, let's look at the top gainers, though. There's got to be something. Out of 100 coins, there's like 5 of them or something that's going up, right? Oh, Jesus, two coins. I didn't know it was going to be that bad, folks. All right, we have DYDX is up 1.7, and then Tether Gold. So gold, we are going to be talking about what's happening in Israel, Palestine, Hamas, the Gaza Strip, and what that might happen to some of these assets like gold, oil, some of these things. So we're going to cover that in a little bit. But I have a feeling this top loser is going to be pretty bloody. There's going to be a bloodbath here. I didn't even bring up DZ's coins. I didn't even want to bring up DZ's coins. You know what? I was leaving the weekend just feeling new vibes. And I should have realized number one loser today is going to be one of my coins. It is Rollbit. Rollbit is pared back all the gains for the week. Essentially here is now down 10% for the day, 10% for the week. Swee's down 6%. Gal is down 5%. Bitcoin, SV, and Bitcoin Cash down about 5% here. Chili's down as well. And hey, why not? Why not? Let's just knock ApeCoin back down to $1. Let's just let's hit it. Let's hit $1, folks. Algorand's down as well. Apto's down. ICP, but could be a chance to get some of these strong VC coins that I don't want to put a whole lot of money in, but I wouldn't mind putting a little money into Aptos. I wouldn't mind putting a little money into. I need to get more Filecoin. I wouldn't mind putting a little money into ICP. So some of these coins, being down 5% for the week. 25% for Thorchain right there.
Yeah, it's
maybe
pretty
there's
rough.
a chance to get some coins here.
Well, Thorchain had a good week last week, of course, DZ, and it's pretty common when you have a really good week to then alternate, unless there's something crazy happening. But of course, they had bullish news, of course, last week, and then the fear continues to come out about Thorchain. Is it something to invest in long term? Yeah, let you guys decide.
Well, I'll tell you what is surprising on the weekly here. We look, Trust Wallet is the number one gainer for the week, followed by TKX. And then we have Monero. Monero is in the top 4 for the weekly gainers here. So Monero, just one of those tried and steady, really loves that $150 range, just kind of been hanging around there. So you see here, right here is 150, goes below it, then goes above it, then goes below it, then goes above it, then goes below it, then goes above it, then goes below it, and now we're above it. What's the next thing that's going to happen? Probably going to drop back down at 150, but really likes that 150 range for some reason there. All right. Well, let's get right into the top story here. World War III is going to break out. What's happening? What's true? What's not true? Here's what I tell you is true. When it comes to news, has X rendered every other social media obsolete?
Pretty much at this point, in my personal opinion. Yeah. What do you think, Drew?
I mean, clearly, like the mainstream media is going to Twitter and just highlighting what's being said there. It's Citizen journalism is giving the truth to people. It's amazing to see.
Yeah. So shout out to Elon, because I don't think if Elon would have bought that, we would really know. We wouldn't have as accurate information. I'm not saying the
Right.
information we have is like, oh my God, we just know what is true and what is not due to X. That's not the case, but it is much more reliable these days. And I think it's more reliable under his hands here. Israel Hamas war in maps and charts. Here's just the live tracker. Now we're not here to offer strong opinions on anything here. I think the whole thing is a travesty, tragedy. And obviously, I don't think Hamas is going to live this one down. I think there's going to be a pretty swift response from the globe here. The latest death toll stands at 526 Palestinians and at least 800 Israelis killed since the 7th here, since the start of the weekend. Pounded the Gaza Strip for the third day in a row and announced a total blockade of the already besieged Gaza Strip, including a ban on food and water after they carried out the biggest attack in the country in decades. There's only 2 entrances into Gaza. There's one strip. It's a strip. There's one entrance from Israel. The other entrance, do you guys know?
On the south.
Yes.
Yep. I think it's Egypt.
Yes, it is Egypt, and it is locked down. I mean, they have no electricity either. So no electricity, no food, no water, no one going in, no one going out. Looks like if I had to guess, Israel is going to get a little bit bigger here. It says the Israeli army has amassed 100,000 reserve troops near the fence with Gaza. Here's just some of the figures here. Occupied West Bank, at least 16 were killed, injured at least 80 Israelis. Like we said, 800 on their side. Gaza, Palestinians, 500. The figures have been reported by the Palestinian Health Ministry, Palestine Red Crescent Society, and Israeli Medical Services. So we're going off official, quote unquote, official numbers here. So again, fog of war, folks, fog of war here. 16 years of a blockade has happened here. Gaza has a population of 2.3 million people living in one of the most densely populated areas of the world. Hey, right here, located between Israel and Egypt on the Mediterranean coast. It's about 141 square miles, 365 square kilometers for the people who measures things in kilometers here. Since '07, maintained strict control over the airspace and territorial waters and restricted the movements of goods of people in and out of Gaza. Netanyahu has threatened to turn it into a deserted island and warns its residents to leave now. Let's see how it unfolded. They fired a huge barrage of rockets. Said it launched 5,000 rockets in the initial barrage. Israel's military says 2,500 rockets were fired. About an hour later, fighters crossed an unprecedented multi-pronged operation through land, air, and sea. I mean, we saw videos of people coming in on hang gliders. I mean, I'm not even trying to make light of the situation. It looked like a Fortnite battle bus. It's like nothing you would actually expect to see. It's something you would expect, like, old black and white footage from like France and World War II. Nothing that would actually be happening today. And Drew, you said you saw a video of someone had a bicycle, like some sort of hang gliding bicycle.
Yeah, they had motorized kind of riding apparatuses that are flying through the air. It's just very surprising that it was caught, like Israel's caught off guard. It's one of the strongest intelligence agencies on earth. And I found that kind of odd that they'd be caught off guard by that. I'm not really buying that surprise aspect.
Yeah, I don't think they didn't know for sure. Let's see, and here's how it unfolded. Just kind of here, it shows some rocket fire, and then Israeli airstrikes. Then gun battles are the red squares here. So gun battles as they get closer and closer. Some Israeli airstrikes happening inside the strip, and then some Hamas fired shots heading towards Israel there. So the Gaza Strip comprises 5 governorates: North Gaza, Gaza City, Bala, Khan, and then Rafah. This is the breakdown of the sections right there. Already kept their borders largely shut and responsible for further deteriorating the already weakened economic and humanitarian situation there. Yeah, no food, no water, no electricity. That means 2 some odd million people, no hospitals, no medication. There's going to be people who need insulin. So it's going to be a very, very tough situation for the people inside the strip right there. Very, very densely populated. You can see it right there. I mean, just zooming in. I mean, sure, it looks like some dirt, but a lot of settlements in this area right there. Let's see. Moving on here. So what's this going to do to people largely, across the globe, though? $5 gas prices. Drivers could pay more if this war widens to threaten oil supplies. Could upset oil supplies, raising the prices at American pumps for the foreseeable future. For the next, say, 15 to 40 days, people are going to see the prices dropping. Longer term, however, it is a concern. They are not major oil producers, but the crisis is playing out in a major oil producing region. Neighboring Saudi Arabia is a world leader in oil exports. The conflict likely won't impact gas prices unless it spreads to other countries that do produce a significant amount of oil, as has happened and sometimes happens in the past here. Why are they going down? Well, they're going down from this time last month, last time, and last year as well, last week. Prices typically fall like they do in the autumn. It's a seasonal cycle that follows the summer travel season. So there's a few chess pieces moving there. All right. Moving on. All right. Well, what's happening elsewhere? Because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is going to happen. That means more things happening in Taiwan. Do you think this emboldens any Taiwan strategy, Drew?
I think it just, I think what we see is Iran is feeling emboldened by Russia, and China is going to feel emboldened by that. If you notice, Israel's surrounded by BRICS applicants. So these applicant countries like Egypt and Iran, they're feeling that they have more backing, and they've been emboldened by what Russia's been able to do. So yeah, I mean, this is just part of my overall thesis of BRICS, toiling and tussling with the UN for the next 10 years, and then the deciding faction is going to control the next world reserve currency. So
all right, we got $6 SoCal 545, Alex G ICP, Crimson Caravan $2.96 in Dallas. So we're seeing a huge disparity, giant delta between those two prices there. Drew's prediction a few weeks ago, $200 a barrel will probably come true. All right. Did you, Rio Oily Boy, did you make any oil trades?
No. But
not an oily boy.
I know I don't trade traditional stocks. I was just, highlighting it, just trying to warn people about the inflation that's likely to come because of, war. The industrial war complex is going to use that oil before we can. So, all
right. Some people getting up to $7 in California, $4.20 in Oregon. That's according to Tito. Good vodka, Tito. All right, let's look inside China here. China near breakthroughs with nuclear-armed submarines. Just kind of want to more show the broad headline here. They're smoking us when it comes to nuclear proliferation. Are they building 450 Gen 3 or Gen 4 nuclear power plants?
Oh yeah, they're outpacing us by a grip.
I can't imagine how that doesn't translate into some sort of advantage when it comes to nuclear building capabilities as well.
Yeah, I mean, they just have more.
Sucks.
It's the skill set that they're building out. Like, we're diminishing our technical skill sets in that field because of ESG narratives. Think about what people are going to school for. It's all about what we're telling people to do in the future is what happens. So,
and shout out to all our submarine workers. We do like submarines. We're pro submarine here. We like the Mariners. You like the Mariners? Submariners? No. Like people who live in marinas, maybe.
Is that what, yeah, yes so.
I don't pay attention to gas prices anymore. If I need it, I get it. It hurts too much to look at the price. I go ahead looking at gas prices as well, because it's like I'm not at a point where I have to limit driving, and I don't do crazy driving anyway. So I just try not to look at that pain point.
It's gonna get bad. We were talking about oil here a second ago. Go to my screen here, Drew. Looking at the charts, we talked about if there was going to hit $100 a barrel, or if we're going to keep away from $100 a barrel, we had to retrace. We did retrace late last week. A lot of red candles. Almost all of last week was red. But then this is the Friday candle, right? This doesn't trade during the weekend. This is the Monday morning. Massive gap just here, coming between 82 and about a 84, almost $85. And you guys are going to see it on the oscillator stuff. Massive overbought flashing, MVP oscillator flashing. This is a big buy signal, one that we have not had a buy signal on oil since all the way back in June, kind of around that same time period that we pulled back to. Buy signals have been very, very lucrative on the chart for oil. This is the daily chart, and we just got another one again. And so $200 a barrel, we're a long way off of $200 a barrel, but $100 a barrel coming very soon. I think it's looking pretty likely.
All right. $1.65 liter in UK, which is $2.40. That's a lot cheaper than I would have guessed. Also, we like submarine makers, like the sandwiches, all Subway workers. All right. One more thing on Israel here. What's it going to do for gold? Attack on Israel boosts appeal of gold and other safe haven assets. The violence that erupted is prompting a move into safe haven assets. Investors closely watch events in the Middle East to gauge geopolitical risk to markets. They would see buying in assets like gold and dollar and boost demand for U.S. treasuries, which have been sold off aggressively, an analyst said over the weekend. As trading started in Asia on Monday, those themes played out. U.S. stock futures slid, while crude, gold, and treasuries all got a boost. The markets have been reacting in recent weeks to expectation. I mean, that is quite the advertisement right there. I mean, that was
I
a
was like,
little
whoa.
close to flesh colored. What is going on? That's Reuters.
That's
Yeah, no,
right.
I was talking to Johnny about this earlier. We can't get rid of them for some reason. I don't know what's happening on this computer when the show's not going on, but getting a lot of interesting ads.
Reuters, come on now. All right, well, we can keep it there. Just showing a very strong, muscular
Yeah.
Michelle Obama back there.
Huge.
Markets have been reacting in recent weeks to expectation that the interest rates will stay higher for longer. Now everyone's like, scroll. I want to see you scroll. Go back to the screen. Yeah, scroll this way. I was cutting off the left side, not the other way. Bond yields have soared while the U.S. dollar has been on a streak of gains. Stocks, meanwhile, sharp losses for the third quarter, but stabilized in the last week. Let's keep it there. Keep it there. Oh, we're scrolling past.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Someone's going to screenshot that. All right. She had clothing on. All right. Analysts were focused on the impact on energy prices as they tried to assess the ripple effects. Oil prices jumped more than $4 a barrel in early Asian trade on Monday. Whether this is a massive market moment or not depends on how long it lasts and whether others are sucked into the conflict. So, guys, it's a little early to tell. We don't know what the rest of the Middle East reaction. I think it really boils down to one player, and that's Saudi Arabia. What's Saudi Arabia going to do? What's Saudi Arabia going to do with oil production? What's Saudi Arabia going to do with funding? And what's Saudi Arabia and Iran going to come to terms with? Come to terms or come to blows? How that's going to play out? If only we had this strong leader who could like separate the Shiites and the Sunnis, and could also like keep Iran in check. And he had a heck of a mustache.
Yeah.
If only.
If only.
All right. Let's see. I think it's time for charts with Tim here.
it's time for charts with Tim. Not a fun day to do those charts. Let's start off here with the dollar. Now the dollar is looking like it's moving to the downside. We still are setting higher highs or higher lows here, but you guys do see the most recent flashes on the daily chart are sell flashes. We had a peak seeker kind of hit that perfectly on that top, moving to the downside. So that is a somewhat positive sign, but this might be a time period, DZ, where the dollar and Bitcoin trade in the same, because Bitcoin also looks like it is headed downwards. Even though we didn't get strong oversold or overbought flashes, we did get right here at the top. We got that red reversal. We're getting engulfing bearish candles. As we start to move down to the downside 4-hour chart, we still have some room to go. Now, it does look like we sped up here a little bit on the 4-hour chart. RSI is showing me oversold at the moment. We're starting to get that MVP oscillator, that green flash coming in here. But you can see we have not had any signal flashing. We need to sell just yet. Watch out in the short term. Watch out for this rising level of a blue line here, rising level of support that we could come into kind of back around here around 27,200, give or take, is where I'm looking in the short term. But in the long term, DZ, I'm still looking at this being a right shoulder of this head and shoulders pattern. We talked about that last week when I did TA. I think that would be a breakdown to about 19,300, I think. Let me go back to the log chart and make sure that's the right level. You go to the top of the head. Come on now, line. Come with me here. Top of the head, down to the neckline. Break it out over to the neck line. Yeah, 19.3. Now, something I think is going to be interesting because prices, usually we see these predictions come out. A lot of people watch over the next couple of weeks, especially as Bitcoin starts to get back down towards 25,000. Watch for the cries of sub 20,000 to come out. You guys know I've been saying that here for a little bit, but there is something that's making me have a little bit of a pause that maybe we stop short, and it's not 23,000. A lot of people will talk about 23,000, maybe 22.3, but to me, the interesting spot's actually the golden pocket, DZ, around 20. I'll go back to the linear chart. Around 21,500, give or take. One of the reasons for this is going back to 2019. I think we talked about this last time, but if we do a similar move to 2019, which we've done a lot of things similar to 2019, we pulled back before COVID hit. We pulled back to a golden pocket. Come on, Fibonacci. There we go. We pulled back to a golden pocket in the same way. I'm sitting here wondering, are we seeing a repeat of that same event? Guess what else we came down and touched? We came down and touched that former resistance level before the big dip. Well, what is the former resistance level before the big dip, that FTX dip? 21.5. So I'm not saying this perfectly. I'm not saying this is what I'm predicting exactly. There's still a lot of evidence to say lower 19,000s are definitely still in play. But if we lose 25, I'm actually looking around 21.5 as my interesting spot to potentially buy more Bitcoin. Maybe save a little bit of dry powder for a lower $19,000 price, a revisit to March levels. But I'm definitely going to be scooping some up. It would make a lot of sense if everyone is convinced sub 20,000 is coming, that institutions you want to gobble more supply are going to buy right here. And here's the thing that people need to remember, because while this is bearish right now, what we're seeing happen with the oil prices, what we see happening globally, this also could lead a lot of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and others, because unlike past events when there was no other really good option to put your store of value and the dollar was so strong, while all this is happening, the dollar continues to lose its strength in bulk. And there's already a lot of rumors that wealthy individuals are going to look to store their value in Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe even XRP, instead of keeping it in the dollar. That would be a different trajectory than what we've seen historically. But there's always a chance that they're looking for a good gobble up price, and 21.5 to 20,000 could be an interesting spot for that. There was another chart. I think, Drew, you wanted me to look at another one. Let's look at Link real quick. Was it AVAX you wanted me to look at?
Love me some Chainlink.
All right, so okay, we can look at Avalanche real quick. Chainlink, though, rejecting. We did break through slightly this descending level of resistance, but could not hold. We broke back down below. Let's take a look at what the oscillators are doing. Yeah, oscillators kind of give us some room to the downside. Our money flow is moving to the downside. I'm sitting here, again, even though this is a pretty big drop, watch out for another touchdown here towards sub $6 levels, 571. Been a great buy spot ever since back in May of 2022. It could happen once again. Maybe give us a nice spring with low volume and then an explosion to the upside. That's what I'm kind of seeing there. Let's even, yeah, you rejected pretty hard off that daily red wave. Watch around 670, around that dynamic reactor. But if we keep moving the downside, especially what I just talked about with Bitcoin losing 25,000, absolutely could see Chainlink come down. And I don't remember if I said this on this show, but DZ, maybe I did. Do you remember what we talked about? I did say it, and I was echoey. I was echoey on Friday, just in case people weren't on that show or did listen to that show and couldn't understand what I was saying. If you look at every single time in the last year and some change that, let's see, I got to kind of correlate this better. Every single time that Chainlink breaks $8, there is a crash on Bitcoin. Right here back in June, right here in August, right here in November. And you keep going every single time we break past it. There's one example right here we didn't, but we just did it again, guys. So even though Chainlink's dipping too, are we about to witness another Bitcoin big dip, even from just using the Chainlink chart to kind of verify that? Last one, we'll look at AVAX for Drew because he wanted to take a look there. We had a little bit of a fake out. You guys, the last time I did charts on AVAX, we talked about this bullish pattern forming, which is a falling wedge pattern, and we weren't sure if we were going to break through right here. It looked like we were going to, but then in the same candle on the daily chart, we wicked back down below, and we did reject right there. Oscillators giving us a nice overbought flash there. We're moving back to the downside. Watch out for, even a double bottom around 869 is going to be interesting. But if we keep moving to the downside, watch for levels around $7.61 maybe. Let's even see historically, is there any precedence for that level? I'm not really seeing it necessarily, but I could absolutely see us coming back down to the blue line, forming one more support bounce off of this falling wedge pattern, and then an explosive move to the upside. AVAX, again, had a good run last week. Just all good things come to an end. And crypto right now is going to have a very good buy price probably in the next couple of weeks. AVAX, you could look for another sub $8 level to get in on some AVAX.
All right. Crypto Crank says I might have my chance for that 4-cent Caspa.
Maybe.
I can't buy it a nickel. I can't buy a nickel. All right. Well, did you want to look at it real quick?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can look at Caspa real quick. Caspa's in it's a bearish pattern, actually, heading back down to the downside. This is a rising wedge, so the exact opposite of that falling wedge. Absolutely, I think you could see a sub $4 Caspa coming your way, but could get even more ugly if we end up losing this support level. Again, these traditionally break to the downside. You could potentially see, if everything plays out right, you could potentially see prices fall back down towards 1 cent. Did I say $4? I think you meant 4 cents. 4 cents. Sorry for. I think that's a little steep.
It's getting ugly.
To me, I think 3 cents is a better area to keep your eye on, looking around Fibonacci levels. Look out for maybe around the 0.32, maybe that 0.5 level. Golden pocket around 2.7 cents could be interesting as well. But this is definitely a bearish pattern, and the bearish momentum coming in with not only this chart, but also the rest of the crypto space, we could see this support level lost. And then again, maybe somewhere between 2 to 3 cent range coming your way very soon.
All right. Just be careful, folks. It could get ugly. Army Piper said he came up with that.
He did. Yes. Credit to Piper. He was showing me that last week.
And then Bubba Sparks came up with the song. It's getting ugly.
So that means you didn't listen to me when I said it 2 weeks ago.
What? Bubba Sparks.
No, the correlation between Chainlink
Yeah.
and Bitcoin.
All right.
Nice.
Well, speaking of correlation, we got a little correlation between me and Tim here on Bitcoin dominance. What's going to happen? Will it hit his
Yeah.
level? Who's making the stake? All right. Bitcoin dominance reaches a 4-month peak as altcoins lose momentum. Bitcoin's price movement has been quite boring over the past 48 hours. The dominance has increased to 50%, the highest since June. The following few days were less volatile for the cryptocurrency, started pumping once again on Thursday. However, the bears intercepted the move and pushed the asset south hard. By Friday, Bitcoin had declined to 27,200 after failing to conquer the 28K level. So dominance on the way up. Here I found a very interesting tidbit about Bitcoin price action. Just kind of sums up everything here. Q3 is the second worst, yet 2023 is the best asset class. So in Q3, it's the second worst thing out there, Bitcoin is. But for all of 2023, hey, man, ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. Yeah, look, it's just one quarter. This according to New York DIG research here. Greg Cipolaro, he's the global head of research at NYDIG. It's a subsidiary of Stone Ridge that delivers Bitcoin products. He published a latest weekly research report here. So how many things are they talking about? Well, quite a few here, folks. So, I mean, we're looking at short-term treasuries, long-term treasuries, large cap values, commodities, cash, mid-cap growth stocks, 10 years, Pacific stocks, let's see, precious metals, Bitcoin. So we're not talking about, oh yeah, a basket of 4 things like gold, silver, S&P, and, you know, real estate, housing prices. No, looking at a broad swath of asset classes. Q3, not much worse than Bitcoin. In fact, it's about the worst thing you could possibly buy, but you're still ahead for 2023. And I think that's the bigger story right there. What else they got in here? They got small cap stocks, European stocks, stock market. All right. Large cap, emerging market. So a lot of different asset classes right there. All right. Let's talk back about gold here. Gold erases all yearly gains after 7% decline in 2 weeks. How does it compare to Bitcoin? Could we look at the gold chart just for the 1 year? Just about, you know, we want to do weekly or daily, whatever, about a year's worth trading view. Ever since the word investing existed, gold has been the most popular, if not the most popular investment tools. Of course, its unique characteristics here. But however, the past few weeks have been rather painful for gold, which is down 7% in its price against the dollar, which has been solid against other currencies. It's at 18.20 as of Friday's closing price. This leads to a few compelling conclusions. Gold has lost all of its yearly gains. The metal is currently valued less than it was over a decade ago when it peaked after the 2008 banking crisis. So it peaked after the banking crisis. I would say, I don't think that little blip with SVB and those other banks would be a big banking crisis. But if, you know, we get this big recession that everyone predicts, you know, once these yield curves flip, there's always a recession, but, you know, the recession's down the line. It's like a year or two down the line. Well, those things have flipped, but we haven't really seen this really strong recession. So makes me wonder what will happen if that does go down. Will gold peak again? Maybe 18 is not a bad price to buy at. What's the gold price looking like?
Well, yeah, I think I'm looking at a futures here. Because different thing you're looking at. 1850 is what the current price here is on gold. What is it per ounce right now for gold? Is it
2023? Okay, yeah, I can see what they're saying right there. Because if you look like right at the start of 2023, it is basically
it takes off. It takes off early 2023. It takes off end of 2022. But we are approaching. We just came down wicked pretty much the same level. We had that dip back in February of 23. But I think you're gonna see, weekly chart is flashing bullish on gold. Got those MVP oscillators kind of coming in, turning green with higher histograms. Again, that oversold. Haven't had an oversold flash on gold since all the way back back in March of 2021. We didn't even get one back in September, October of 2022. We just got bullish divergence. So that's pretty bullish to see that flash come up on the weekly chart. Even going to the daily chart, getting a lot of bullish flashes, MVP oscillators nice and high. I think gold is looking to move back to the upside. The question is, does it recapture and get back above 1948, where it just was back on September 20th? Or are we still working, since this peak right here in May, those are lower highs and lower lows. Gold's in a downtrend. Again, not too many bullish flashes, but we have a double dose here that could move us back to the upside.
Did Bitcoin drop $500 2 hours before Dow Jones open to see how Dow reacts to? No, that's not a bad thesis. I would say you could look at Asian markets and other markets, just kind of get a good broad assessment on that. Plus the futures. Let's see. We got a barber in here trying to fade DZ's hairline. You know what? If you're a barber, you need to worry about your own fades instead of fading me.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see. Let's talk about Arthur Hayes. And are we gonna have an epic bull run, folks? Epic. I hope we have. At this point, I'm just happy if we have a bull run. It doesn't even need to be that epic. Just give us a bull run here.
I think it's coming. I said I think a dip is coming before it, but it's almost like the one last dip to scoop up that supply before something gets explosive. And honestly, this could be a bull market that happens at the demise of a lot of other things.
Wait a minute. Are you saying it's suppressed down by the Black Rocks?
I think it is being suppressed down. I mean, if I was BlackRock and I wanted to gather more supply, would I rather buy at 27,000 or 20,000? I mean, that's an easy answer. I'd rather buy at 20,000. So if I have the ability and control to push price down there to buy more, why not?
Epic bull run ? Aren't all bull runs epic? I guess if you're in like Pamplona, Spain, that'd be pretty epic. I would never do that though. I don't remember. Don't do it. Don't do it, y'all.
That's
don't
a bad idea. I don't know who thinks that that's a good idea, like ever.
And sometimes, look, we all do different things to prove, our toughness here. All right, let's talk about this bull run here. Arthur Hayes says AI and historic money printing will create the most epic bull market for cryptocurrency here. He says the commercialization of AI and historic money printing will lead to a massive bull run for crypto assets. He had a thesis called Double Happiness. It was about the bull market that we're on the cusp of. It's a combination of the most money ever printed in human history in a 2 to 3 year period and the commercialization of AI and how that relates to crypto. These two things combined are going to produce the most epic bull run in crypto and just about everything else that's sort of a risky asset around the world. Economic powerhouses such as US, Europe, and China are going to be issuing ridiculous amounts of debt, which will work in favor of digital assets. I did the research into how much debt is actually going to be issued by these agencies, and it surprised me to the upside. It's just so ridiculous how much money is going to be printed over the next 2 to 3 years while the central banks try to save the government bond markets, that I guess I'm just so bullish on Bitcoin, crypto, certain stocks, and so bearish on fiat just because there's going to be the umpteenth more trillions of dollars of it. Yeah, I would agree that. So I've been saying it for years at this point. They will print leading into the 2024 elections.
Yeah.
We're not that far away, folks.
Yeah.
So we're getting closer and closer and closer.
Look at they're gonna print and probably lower interest rates, which is going to be brutal for the US dollar, but it'll keep the economy afloat. But that's a very, very good bonus for Bitcoin and crypto. That's what like people are their dollars in their bank accounts are gonna get turned to crap. But if you are holding crypto, you're gonna have your portfolio go up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I was going to say, hold it 5 years. You're always in profit, but not anymore.
Yeah.
There's that one time. Talking about Georgia's event. Hey, let people do that. Yeah, I got zero desire to do anything.
We could
like
also
that.
Do a whole event where we talk about crypto.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
That'd be a good event.
Stream.
That'd be a good event.
Well, there's also an event where we can read chat, and I think there's a happy medium to be struck, Tim, because I don't want to neglect chat. Tim wants to neglect you. He wants to neglect you.
What did I say
I'm not gonna do that, folks.
I love
so
chat.
Tim had his way. You know what? Wouldn't even read it once.
Yeah, I saw it.
Jeez, but I'm not about that. I'm about that. I'm about
gosh.
you. So hit that like button. If let's show Tim how wrong he is. All right, let's talk about U.S. debt here. Demand for U.S. debt facing worst technical environment in our lifetime, says hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman. I would listen to Bill Ackman, folks. Bill is bullish on cash now. We got different theses happening, huh? Bill Ackman issued a stern warning saying there's an imbalance between buyers and sellers of U.S. government bonds. So there's plenty of reasons why the Fed could make abrupt changes to its benchmark interest rates. According to him, the bond market looks shaky as the top foreign holders are unloading their treasury troves. I think there's, even in the relative short term, there's a number of reasons why rates can move a lot here. Among them, government shutdown, going to highly probable government shutdown. We're going to have a data shutdown. All these little government agencies that put out data that the Fed relies on to adjust, they're going to lose access to that kind of data. So kind of a dark period. And then we have probably the worst technical environment in our lifetime for the supply of bonds versus bond buyers. We have China selling. We have Russia to the extent they own U.S. securities and more selling. We have Saudi Arabia selling. We have an economy that is still strong and inflation at 3.5 to 4% and persistent. But the latest numbers from the Treasury Department reveal China's holdings of securities plunged from 834 billion to 821 billion at the end of the month, a decline of almost 14 billion.
They got a long ways to go till they're out of them, though. 830.
That's a long ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
long ways. I mean, 10 times that would be 130. So 130 goes into 830, roughly 6 times, 5 times. So yeah, it's a long. That's 50 months. That's over 5 years or 4 years, 4 years and 2 months there. So yeah, long time. And as they sell more, it becomes less attractive to sell. So they might have to sell, then cool off for a period, wait some buyers into the market, then you can sell some more. So long time. Do the opposite of Bill Ackman. He had a short on the market during COVID, then went on TV and said, sell everything.
Not a good look.
Let's see. Okay. Feel bad for people buying houses at these interest rates. If interest rates drop, people who bought homes today will lose their homes by not paying so they can refinance, aka 2008. That was a huge issue. The refinance issue was a huge issue at 08. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it spikes like that.
What are we going to wear for Halloween?
What are we going to wear for Halloween? I know what Cat Wander dress has. I don't know if that would work.
Top G.
It was funny though. It was going to be real funny.
Here's what I was thinking, DZ. I was actually thinking long and hard about this. Because even though, he's not a hit network employee anymore, Frankie and Tony are still in the building. Frankie and Tony have a kind of a Mario and Luigi thing going on.
Ooh, yeah.
What about you and me, DZ, doing a Mario and Luigi type of thing?
How about
we compete?
Waluigi and Wario?
Oh, we'll be
That's
the
a
evil
good one.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Waluigi. I'm gonna win. How not terrible was that, right?
Pretty good.
I think let's do it.
All right. Maybe. I gotta like cut my mustache into a zigzag, but
we can make this happen.
All right, one of you needs to dress as Crypto. I kind of feel like this is almost an Crypto like summer shirt or winter shirt. He's not in cold climates. You know what I mean? He's a jet setter. All right, it's not made of hemp. If it was made of hemp, it'd be an Crypto shirt. Let's talk about debt here. This is half a trillion added to U.S. debt in 21 days, 21 as the senator warns of a death spiral. It could bury future generations here. So we added $500 billion in just 3 weeks. We went from 32.9 to 33.5 trillion on October 5th, representing $524 billion. The deficit doubling to 2 trillion in the last year should be a flashing red warning sign to everyone who cares about America's future. Warning. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, the federal government is currently paying almost $1 trillion in interest on its debt per quarter.
They didn't read, DZ, when they made this article, they didn't read the report from Joe Biden where he talks about he lowered the deficit. So he's fixing it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, he's fixing it.
Yeah,
he's fixing it, folks.
Every single year he's lowering it by, I think he said 2 billion.
He fixed Commander, the dog.
He fixed him real good.
That's one way.
Yeah,
If you just kick the deficit out of the house, then it goes away.
Well, I think, sometimes you got to kick it a couple times, huh?
Yeah.
Dress up as the scariest thing in crypto.
We have
SBF.
to clip that episode from last week. Like I sent you a clip. We have that. Has
The
to go
pumpkin
all over the
kicking?
internet. DZ losing it on a pumpkin.
Yeah. It's,
Discover Paintball Meetup. Tim misses super chats on his own show.
all right.
Says
One time.
Army
I
Piper.
missed the super chat one time, and you're right. It was the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I apologized, Piper, and I thought we talked about this privately. We'll talk after the show.
This is what accountability looks like.
This is what the like button looks like. So go ahead and hit that like button, everybody, as well. Let's talk about $250 billion here. $250 billion in deposits exit JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citi in 1 year. So we're losing a lot of money, witnessing the collapse of 3 large American banks here. Among the 15 deposit holders, Charles Schwab reported the largest year-over-year decrease of 31% to $304 billion, attributed mostly to outflows from brokerage accounts. The deposit losses for all U.S. banks represent a 4% decline year over year. We have 4,100 regional banks in America. Probably in the next 3 years, it'll be down to 2,000. They're going to consolidate. Yeah, that's good for competition, right? Cut the number in half. That doesn't seem right. All right, let's talk about Ray Dalio here. Then we're going to get into some ETH news, folks. Ray Dalio says cash is not trash anymore. Trash, kid, get good. Calls asset class relatively attractive. Here's how. The cash is trash mantra is no longer true among significant shifts in the macroeconomic landscape. Cash now has relatively attractive appeal. Let's see. Now, when you look at the expected returns on the moment, cash is relatively attractive asset class not just because it has relatively decent, not great, but decent real return, not bad, and not bad in comparison to other things. It doesn't have price risk, so it looks relatively attractive. So you don't got to worry about asset price. You don't have to worry about it falling. You don't have to worry about, oh yeah, I bought this $1 billion worth of mortgage-backed securities where it's a bunch of homes, or I just bought one building worth $1 billion. You don't got to worry about 20% evaporating in the course of a year. You just got to worry about 3% evaporating due to inflation. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about ETH here. New ETH sale from Ethereum Foundation. How many ETH were sold? Well, they sold 1,700 about an hour and a half ago from this article here. Ended up being $2.74 million. So while it's a high amount, it's, as far as the ETH Foundation goes, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But selling low makes me think that was probably more related to just expenses. I don't think they're trying to catch a top. Although maybe they're just also hedging against the war. Could be that too as well. I don't know. Maybe.
Rug pull.
Well, when you rug pulled your super chatter, they say you did apologize.
All right, too soon.
What?
Too soon. I did apologize. I apologize. Look, I'm going to read this super chat right now just to make up for it. Hey, guys. By the way, shout out to Corey. Hey, guys. Haven't tuned in for a while. Just curious, since the channel change, are you guys still bullish on XRP?
I'm still a holder of XRP. I still think it's going to go up. I think we can maybe put in a higher high than 2021, 2017, 18. I'm not so sure. I'm still looking like we get some good returns, but not going to be at 20x.
I'm the most bullish out of us. I think $6.
$6. I don't go that high.
I think over $10. I think XRP is going to have a great bull market
in the next couple of years.
Is Tim the most bullish?
Yeah.
I think
Tim's the most bullish.
I might be the most
Guys,
bullish.
We've turned more bullish on XRP than ever before, I guess.
Well, to be fair, I think I've been hovering between the $10 to $15 range for a while now. I was still in that range back when I was calling a pullback to 55 cents. Just because you're bearish during a short term doesn't mean you're not bullish long term. XRP's gonna have a great bull market. It just isn't time yet for that bull market to start exploding. Wait till next year. Like summer to fall next year is when things are gonna get very fun, very exciting, and your portfolios are gonna get very green.
Yeah. Next year, 2025, will I sell in May and walk away? Who knows what I'll do? I don't know. All right, let's talk about a little more ETH here. We have Coinbase ranks the second largest ETH staking entity as Lido's dominance raises concern. So Lido staked Ether. Lido is going to be number one. So Coinbase coming in number two. So Coinbase dominance staking sphere is only superseded by Lido DAO, which accounts for 1/3 of all staked ETH, whereas Coinbase accounts for 14%. So we have 14% for Coinbase. Lido DAO coming in for around, I guess, 33% there. So decent amount there. Not exactly a small amount. Okay, here we go. 32.1%. So right under a third for Lido DAO. But Lido DAO's whole business model is you can stake with us. You don't have 32 ETH or, you don't feel like doing all that complicated bull crap. Come to our protocol. We'll do it for you. So to me, is that they just have the best product. I'm all about free market. You know, I don't think it's great that we have one entity staking 33%, let alone 51%. But in a free market, things like that might happen, folks. So I don't know. I don't want to put in centralized controls over this and break them down like some sort.
Well, even Vitalik now he wants to do some stuff to try to get rid of the heavy centralization that is there. And I don't know if this is going to be talked about in the next segment because next segment we're talking about Cardano. But of course, Charles Hoskinson has some thoughts about this, but I'll save it. We'll talk about that.
Well, we got Vitalik. Just to what Tim was saying, he proposes a 2-tier method to address centralization challenges in the Ethereum staking. So continue to evolve. So he has a decentralized staking for vision staking here. Let's see. Notably, pinpoints issues surrounding the selection process for node operators. Presently, we're going to talk about constraints and BLS signatures per slot, and further complications come from accountability and signing, which demands participation record for each signature. Talking about full dank sharding, guys. Oh, if I had $1 for every time I talked about full dank sharding, I'd have like $4.
Juicy.
Drawing. Say what?
Very juicy. Moving on.
All right. Drawing inspiration for models implemented by Rocket Pool and Lido. Buterin suggests adopting a 2-tiered staking system. Node operators and delegators emerge as central figures. The roles envisioned for small stakers are characterized by sporadic participation, and importantly, these roles tactical. So it's getting real techie here, but yeah, he's working on it, folks. He's working on it, folks.
The problem is, though, how does he get this accomplished without taking control and full centralization to get it put into? I mean,
ETH Classic 2.0.
So another fork is what we're doing here.
I don't know. It's a tough one there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, blood. Come on, blood. Love to see you come on by. Let's see. All right. What up, gangsta? Says Catch Them All. All right. Great album. Great album. Let's talk about Charles Hoskinson here. Again with a weirdly AI looking photo. I don't know if that's actually him.
Yeah,
That's
that
not him.
doesn't look like him.
It looks like another one of those weird AI
Wait,
images.
scroll down. Is there the right amount of fingers?
The hands look somewhat normal.
That the
pinky
last
looks
two
sus.
fingers are looking weird. Yeah, but shout out to AI for putting 5 fingers on a hand. Normally it's either 3 or 7.
Or they like combined, like it's
Yeah, or
just
it was
like
a
one
Chinese finger trap built into the hand. Yeah.
Chinese finger traps. I remember that was like a real concern when you're like 6, 7 years old. That and quicksand.
One of the scariest things ever.
And plain glasses and sidewalks. Like you just, I'm going to ride a bike and there's going to be a plain glass. So I'm going to run into it. And also pianos on the ropes. These are all things I really thought were concerns of mine.
Did you grow up in a city?
I grew up watching Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes.
I didn't grow up anywhere where a piano would. I mean, if a piano fell, it would have fallen out of a tree.
Me neither. But I've seen it enough times.
Easy just walks around his whole childhood like this.
Oh, every tree. I'm looking. All right, fan man, 10 pounds here. I made a big mistake. I said 120, didn't even answer. I chose the. All right, we're not gonna say. All right, I made a big mistake. I sent $120 to help him. Didn't even answer my super chat question. I feel robbed. I chose the wrong side. Sorry, guys. I'm back with you.
He's talking about Vitalik.
It's all about the money. Yeah, I think he's talking about sending a message on an ETH transaction.
Yeah, he was talking about Vitalik, and now he's on Charles Hoskinson ADA side.
Yep, fan man. Well, fan man, send us a question. You don't. I'll look out for the name. Don't drop another pound. Unless you're on a diet. Well, that's look. Don't drop any more money. And if I'll look out for the name, fan man. All right, let's talk about Chucky here. Chucky talking about Sam Bankman-Fried. He said in a recent post that influential people with connections to Bankman-Fried may be trying to help him avoid conviction. The main reason why the book by Michael Lewitt is more of an apology tour than a truthful portrayal of Bankman-Fried, saying New York Times also took a similar approach here, detailed the rise. However, the artist has been accused of painting him as a sympathetic image for Sam Bankman as a genius weirdo whom nobody properly understood. To Hoskinson, these are all plans to get him off the book or off the hooks here. So yeah, it's a weird coordinated attempt to make him seem like just this really nice guy, just quirky kid. He didn't do anything wrong. 60-minute things. We've already kind of talked about, I don't want to get into too much, but the way he tried to just obfuscate that $8 billion of customers' money got spent on Bahamas mansions, okay, and polycule Gatorade. All right, that's not right. All right, and they just went from FTX to Alameda. It was just a misaccounting, guys. The way he says that, it's like the $8 billion still there. Oh, it was just a misaccounting. You took $8 billion from here and he put it there, guys. It's just he didn't know he couldn't do that. If I said that to you, you would think, oh, he just moved the $8 billion and it's like still there.
Listen,
and so the way he kept saying it was like clearly persuasion tactics.
He was just overwhelmed, DZ. He was overwhelmed at the
With
success
Bronze
of his
League?
2 businesses. This is why he shouldn't go to prison.
Overwhelmed.
Have you never been overwhelmed, DZ? Have you never been overwhelmed and stolen billions of dollars?
No, I haven't.
Gosh, no sympathy.
I can't even really remember the last time I'm overwhelmed. What's overwhelmed? I was pretty overwhelmed when I was traveling back. Lack of sleep, stuck on the plane, too many things outside of my control. And then, yeah, you know what? I guess I did recently feel overwhelmed.
So now you can relate to SBF because that's why.
Yeah, he was like
that.
stuck on the tarmac.
Yeah.
You know what? Someone messaged me. I think it was Billy. Shout out to Crypto Billy if he's watching. I think Crypto Billy was on the same flight. He also got stuck, and he's still down with COVID, I think.
He's sick too.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still sick or not, but he was sick. It's messed that
Could have
flight.
sent it to me on Friday. It was a message I was checking today. But
That whole flight must have gotten sick.
Yeah, man, we were stuck on the tarmac. They ended up deboarding us. Then we had to like kill 2 hours, and we like got back on the plane, and then we were like stuck there. Then finally, we had our 5.5-hour flight. So it was a long, hellacious day leaving Vegas, heading to Atlanta. But yeah, clearly when we were stuck on the tarmac, because when you're in the air, you have better air circulation than when you're sitting still on the tarmac. We were just in a petri dish. Let's see. I'm overwhelmed when I run out of toilet paper, but I'm already in the bathroom after Chipotle.
That's an overwhelming scenario.
No, that's not overwhelming. You do this.
Okay.
You know, look, hey man, the sleeve, it's gonna have a pattern. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. All right.
Was that shirt tie-dye before?
Look, I don't know why there's a peanut stuck in my collar. I don't know how it got there. All right, let's talk about Cardano founder before I go off the rails again. All right, because I ate corn last night. All right, Cardano founder shares a crucial Hydra update. This is pretty techy, so I don't want to get too much into it, but it's debunking some misinformation regarding the move along the way. He debunked claims that it's not as scalable as being presented by the developer team. Shares weekly updates talking about its innovations here, and they say the community is doubtful. They're doubtful about the team's update on Hydra. And to address it, he shared a transactions per second chart showing around 1,000 transactions per second to highlight Cardano's throughput capability. So it's not only confirms that the Hydra throughput is intact, shows that it's given has no glitch to warrant the misinformation that is being spread. The latest of the newest dApps launches midnight, which is designed to enhance privacy. So trying to get some good privacy. All right, so FanMan, why is Vega Protocol the third busiest project in the bear market? Okay, so you're going by, I believe, the sentiment developer activity. You see, all right, so I'm glad you brought that up because I've been looking at developer activity as viewed by sentiment. The way they measure that is GitHub repository submissions. And Cardano consistently up there. Let's see, there's some other ones. You see Sand up there a lot. I think that might be just Avalanche. You see that one up there a lot. Vega, I feel like spikes to number one, some charts, then you just won't see it, and then it'll be like number one or number two, and then you won't see it. FanMan, I don't know this for sure. This is just, just kind of off my gut instinct. I think that developer activity can be a gamed metric, and Vega, if Vega, it could be what it appears. That's all I'm going to say. I'll just look at it real quick. Vega Protocol, I believe it's called. Yep, Vega Protocol.
Yeah, aiming at derivatives market. So.
Rank 279, 13. Looks like most charts. Let's see if we go to the X. How often are they tweeting? 37,000, pretty low. Pin tweet. Okay, 2 hours ago.
Is anyone paying attention though? Let's see here.
5 hours ago, 23 hours ago. I mean, they tweet regularly. It looks like they have a graphics department. They got some nerds. Maybe that came from the Discord. Bybit. Let's just say when you see something like Vega Network's been selected to participate in Bybit officials' buy vote program, they have a healthy biz dev team.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy biz dev teams oftentimes translate to, they also have strong developers. Sometimes it translate, they don't have anything else going on. I don't know what that means for Vega though. So that's just, I know that was like saying a lot without saying anything, but just be careful with the GitHub transmission or submission metric there. All right, let's talk about one more Cardano thing. Clay Nation. Hey, let me give a big shout out to Clay. The Clays out there, I've still got some Clays. Clay team's always been nice. Super, super nice to Cat. Super, super nice at all events. And their events, they always set up clay making stations for kids. And they always have the best vibe. So I'm very, very bullish on Clay Nations here. So they're launching Cardano Polygon NFT Bridge in the Sandbox there. So it's a launching partnership with the Sandbox. It enables them to use their Cardano-based NFTs as avatars in the Sandbox game on Polygon while keeping the NFTs on Cardano. So pretty big news. Pretty big news to him.
More of those ads, man.
Say what?
Those ads just
oh my God. Honestly, I didn't even look. I got boomer eyes, so they're like too small for me to even see. There is clothing there. Just some stop.
It's not yet.
I'm just kidding. No, go back. No, let me zoom in. Enhance. Look, there is clothing if you zoom in, folks. Okay. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say modest is hottest. DZ.
Modest is hottest.
Modest is hottest. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I like that. I definitely feel like that's popular at the Bible schools.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was homeschooled in Christian, and that's how that came to be. It's don't know if it's actually true, but it's good. As the older you get, that's what's also crazy. As a kid, and this is a really off topic. As a kid, you kind of like it. The older you get, I literally now find myself like, hey, like I actually think women who cover themselves and like treat themselves with respect, like that's more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
That is a more attractive trait. That's
Okay.
just me though. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I like my fiance dressed like Ruth Gator Ginsburg on her dates.
There you go. Yeah.
Let's see. Ada sucks, says MP. Well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man. Let's see. And Fan Man, no problem, no problem. Crypto Blood, people want to know your favorite Pokemon. So if you could go ahead and let us know, that'd be great. All right. You know what mine is? It isn't sand true, but let's talk about sand, folks. All right. We just talked about what they're doing with Clay Nation. Well, millions of sand tokens transferred to exchanges, sell off and coming. Gaza Strip's pretty sandy. Is that a coincidence?
Okay. Goodness gracious.
All right.
Too soon.
Blockchain tracking platform Look On Chain revealed that a whale has transferred millions of sand to exchanges over the past 24 hours. Say exchanges in plural, so meaning multiple. Okay, yeah. So sent some to Binance, sent some to OKX just a few hours ago. 28 million sand tokens is worth $9 million almost. So just a few hours ago, the time the transfer was initiated, sent them to exchanges estimated to be worth 8.5. However, not the first large deposit sent to exchange platforms by this particular whale. This whale just loves dumping a bunch of sand. All right. So, wow, it looks like they unlocked 134 million there, and they transferred 32 million just that day. That was on August 10th. Looks On Chain shared the same address that they did it then. Shortly after, so when they moved, let's see, when they moved $30 million worth, the price fell 30%.
Oh my God.
They moved $8 million worth. Does that mean it's going to move 8%? Now, that's obviously not, you know, any kind of real metric. But hey, I like it. That's a fun metric. So maybe we'll maybe look out for an 8% pump. I know TA people are like, you didn't even look at the lines, you idiot. I'm just going by the gut, baby. I'm going by my gut. All right. From a technical standpoint, negative trend line had formed on Sand's daily chart throughout the past few weeks. Subsequently, it will need to overcome this barrier before it can rise in the next couple weeks. So yeah, it has to go above this this falling, descending line right there. All right, we got a couple more Sand things. We're gonna do the smash or pass deep dive in the ecosystem and expansion strategy. Decentralized community-driven platform. If you don't know what it is, it's a metaverse. The metaverse has a sand token. It has gaming and entertainment as kind of its main use case here. Think of Minecraft for the blockchain, I think would be the best way to build it. And so it's like Minecraft for the blockchain, but Gucci can come in and they can Minecraft up a little Gucci store. And then what are you going to do? You're going to go in there and you're going to rob them because you could steal from the Gucci store in the metaverse and there's no criminal processing happening there. So it's going to be a lot of that. Then they'll have to shut it down, just like the CVS that they were going to build in sand. And then, you know, you go into the Walgreens and sand and everything's behind padlocks. So you got to get your little Minecraft hammer. That's essentially what it's going to look like, folks. Let's see, Sandbox growth model here. They're based on expanding boxes in different countries. So the Bharat box for India. Maybe also, I think they can do it. They cater specifically to individual markets. So, hey, you speak Cantonese, go over there. You speak Austrian, go over there. You speak English, go over here. The future of the project here, and they're going to keep building it. Looks like they want to go into AR, VR, and the Internet of all things. So smash or pass. Here, we're going to pull up the coin data here. Let's hit the all. Wow. That was when Metaverse was a hot narrative. And they got above $7. Right now, it's 30 cents. So that's a 20x, more than a 20x. All right, so we have Sand, we have Ape, we have Mana. Mana is Decentraland. Mana is working with Apple. Ape's working with Yuga. It's working with A16Z and all their other VC backers. And then you have Sandbox. They're kind of, partnering with a lot of people. I hate not having a little bit of all three of those projects.
Yeah.
So for me, this would have to be a smash. I feel like I have to check. I think I have a little bit of Sand just kind of chilling on Coinbase. Maybe it's time to buy a little bit more. Let's hit 1 year. We get a better idea. Ooh, yeah, that's looking like it's getting ready. It's looking like it's getting ready to maybe, I'm not saying this is the bottom, but it looked like it's getting ready to find a bottom. What do you say, Tim?
I think so. Yeah, the chart's a falling wedge pattern. It did reject off of it, but the chart is a falling wedge pattern. That's a bullish chart. I also just don't think this is the time where you're going to get gaming tokens being the hottest thing, but I think that time will come. I think Sand, I think I don't know if I'm confident about a new all-time high. I think this might be one of the projects that doesn't get back above 850.
Okay, I can see that.
But I still think there's some good gains
I think
made.
$5, you know, probably a lot
Yeah.
strong resistance. I'd be very happy if I got a coin for 30 cents, 25, basically a quarter, and it went up to $5.
Which, by the way,
a 20x.
$5 is not quite 20x, but it's a 16x.
At 25 cents.
That's pretty good.
Cents. And we're pretty close to that. Let's see if we hit the 1 month. It hasn't really got that low, but hey, keep an eye out for it. All right, Drew, what are your thoughts? Are you in or out? Smash or pass?
I mean, this is like well down the line of bags I want to build. I might buy it. I mean, it ripped last time. I missed out on it. Gaming and metaverse stuff has still got a talking point. Yeah, but nothing. I'd probably do like 1% of my portfolio after this. Not like a 5% chunk or a 10% chunk. Just a little risky play in case it doesn't die.
Catch them all. That's a good question. I have no idea what the heck's going on with that whole thing. I don't know. I wish I knew. Maybe I need to figure that out. All right, let's talk about a little XRP. X in the chat. Let's throw your X's up here. First, we're just going to kind of read this. Darebit to launch XRP options in 2024. So Darebit, fairly large exchange. So this is just going to add a little bit of volume. I don't think that'll move the price too much there. But here, bad news. But good news, but bad news. Jeremy Hogan says case likely to be resolved by 2027.
Oh
Come on, man. That's way too long. So good news, but yeah, it kind of feels like bad news here. So he's a well-known lawyer. He took to X and he went to outline how and when he believes the case is going to end. Considering where it currently stands, only two outcomes are possible. Says they may opt to settle the case with against individual defendants. He believes they'll then seek a final judgment against Ripple before heading to an appeal court. And then taking this route would save them between 9 to 12 months for it to reach appellate court. But more than saving time, will also help them save resources. I think that's the more important part. They need to save resources. They only have finite man hours in that building. All these impending government shutdowns. Plus, you got Coinbase action, you got Binance action, you got SBF, FTX. Something should be happening there. So it's going to be spread thin. They are spread thin. They only have so many lawyers that can show up in these courtrooms every day. What's next, though? Popular analyst says Cody Carbone, Elliot Z, and others are all in agreement on this. They insist post-trial appeals remain on the table of options as demanded by standard litigation procedures. However, this is all the remedies after all remedies must have been determined there. So court recently denied their appeal. Yeah, it's not looking like this is ending anytime soon. I mean, I don't know if we'll get an exciting thing in the next 12 months, according to that. So I'm tired of things. Just hurry it up. Wrap it up, Gary. Wrap it up.
I know.
It's what his parents should have done.
It's been a painful hold. Oh my God. It's been a painful thing to witness.
Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that. That was rude. That was just rude.
Yeah.
Nothing against
you know what? There. We are happy that you are alive, SBF. Just make better decisions.
We're talking about
stop
Gary
getting
Gensler.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was talking about Gensler.
Oh.
I don't see. I know a little bit about Barbara and Joseph, but I don't know anything about Papa and Mama Gensler.
Oh, Gensler.
All right, it is time for the X Minute, everybody. It's hell o'clock. Just let me know any posts that you might want me to share. First, we have I had the article, we talked about it. ETH Foundation sells 2.7 million in ETH on Uniswap there. Let's see. Let's go to the likes. I'm not trying to get too political here, but we're talking about American Indians. I did not know they didn't invent a wheel. They didn't invent a wheel. How crazy is that? That's odd, right?
Move around.
I never would have guessed that. They're like, how the heck were they building those stupid pyramids? They weren't that big. They weren't like the pyramids of Giza. You know what I mean? They're like the larger ones are 10 stones or something. But yeah, did not know that. They did not come acquainted with the wheel until after the arrival of colonists there. Is it Columbus Day or something? I've seen a lot of.
There's a lot of people out for Columbus Day. Didn't know that people still celebrated because there's so much controversy about that. But yeah, a lot of people.
I mean, I don't know how I should feel about that, right? We have Indigenous Peoples Days or Columbus Day or, but then you're like, well, the Aztecs were like, massacring people, like doing some pretty bad stuff.
Listen, historically, there are not many great people groups out there.
Yeah.
That have done no atrocities whatsoever.
The sacrifices will end.
Yeah, and like Cortez, he just like enlisted the other Indian tribes surrounding the Aztecs. Like, hey, you hate that? Like, we're going to go against them. Who wants to volunteer? They're like, me, I hate them. They've been doing X, Y, and Z against us. So
I love the color schemes, though. Blue and terracotta, like a teal and terracotta mixture inside your house. Make it look like an Aztec place. Really nice. Very nice. Highly recommend it.
I like some turquoise.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder how we all feel about crypto.com. I think Crow is going to blow up because it's just such a normie friendly website. It's just, well, where do I go to buy some crypto.com or something? Yeah. Oh, okay. So people are going to buy it for that. Dolly 3. I need to start looking into that. I'm just over Mid Journey. I paid for a freaking year of Mid Journey Plus, and now I'm already over it. So I need to start looking at that. Here's just a good, this one's more for Nick Damandi than anybody. At some point decades ago, public school teachers made up a non-existent grammatical rule that you can never end a sentence with a proposition. A lot of you have been writing extremely clunky sentences in accordance with this fake rule ever since. So I'm going to start ending sentences and propositions. I'm going to not care anymore.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stupid rules in school.
Yeah, like, never mind. I'm not even going to go there. Yeah. Some, like, again,
I mean, now I feel like you have to go there.
Well, no,
tease it out
just,
there.
some libraries. I was just going to go the angle of the libraries,
Yeah.
but I really feel like we shouldn't go there. So I'm
Yeah,
not
maybe
gonna
we
go
shouldn't.
there. I don't have anything
Nothing good
else,
happens in
Aaron.
libraries.
I was touching grass over the weekend. Let's just see. I'm going to go to Tim_TA, right? Or is it Tim's TA?
Tims_TA. You're probably gonna get a bot. There you go. Is that me? Look at that. That's me.
All right. Let's police his likes.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, don't go to
Uh-oh.
mine.
Okay.
Might find some crazy. I don't even know. I'm actually watching with anticipation right now. I don't know
We
what else is
cannot
on
let
here.
British cities go the way of San Francisco or Seattle. Yeah, no Chaz and no feces in the street, please. We love Dan on the show, Crypto
Yeah.
Capital Venture. Cardano and Bitcoin are the only blockchain projects with any real cyberpunk ethos left in the top 100, that is. All right. Let's see. Coming to make
Virginia Tech fan. So you're gonna find some football stuff in here.
Hey,
as
man,
well.
ain't no wrong. Hey, people. Hey, how was your American Gridiron team? How was your
Yeah.
NFL team over the... Did you win your fantasy men and...
It's not over yet because there's Monday night games that finish the week.
Oh,
but I'm
that's
winning
right,
in the
that's right.
2
You gotta
leagues
wait
I'm
for the
playing in.
Monday.
I'm very. It would take miracles for me to lose this week.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. So we'll see. Inflation is super real. Pokemon booster pack were $4. Now they cost $7 and some change.
No.
That's way too much. It's way too much. Settlement check from Voyager. No. Eric the Red Day. There you go, Drew. We're just talking about the Vikings and the Indians before the show. Celebrate the discovery of North America by the Vikings. Drink beer from horns and wear beards. I heard they got repelled by the Indian forces, though, correct?
Well, there's higher numbers at the time. So.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't come in with like as many ships as Cortez and hey man, Columbus went back. He was like, what did he say? Like 20 people with swords can subjugate 1,000 or something. There's some like famous quote. It's like, eesh. Lizards mate in the wild. No, what is that even talking about? I don't know. You lost me with that one. All right, folks. Well, I hope you hit the like button. I got a short coming out on some hot topics talking about what the politicians have been doing with the war stocks and the oil stocks. Some suspicious buys right up to what's happening today. Then some suspicious pumps. And so, it's not suspicious pumps. Some clear pumps have been happening with some certain stocks. So I got a short coming out. I'm exposing the frauds. I'm exposing the corrupt politicians. I'm exposing how they're profiteering off of this human travesty that's happening. So please keep an eye out for that. We got some more stuff. I think Elon Musk shorts coming out soon.
We've been putting out some pretty fire shorts. Go to our page. Go to my screen on this one, Drew. Go to our page. Just scroll through here and just watch some of these shorts. We've been putting out some bangers, and you guys go give them some love, give them some attention.
Oh, you see Drew on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You see Brandon.
Anytime you see Drew
Dark
on there, you
Brandon.
got to click on it. You got Taco over here. Talk about
He has a
Redbeard.
huge chin. He's a very robust jawline going on.
That
there.
Yeah, speaking of Vikings.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, he was a Viking. All right. Well, today, whether you celebrate Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day, Elizabeth Warren, whatever you call it, hope you have a good day. Are the banks closed?
I have no idea. I don't go to banks.
I don't know. Well, let's get 3 ships, Nina, Nita, Santa Maria, and we'll just make them open. All right, folks, that's all we got. Where's Mike Jones? Who? I'm out. Easy out.